You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind. Self-discipline is the center of all material success.
That's the way so many people are today. They just let their feelings run their lives. If they feel like getting upset, then they're upset. If they feel like telling somebody off, they just tell them off. They feel like being lazy, they're lazy. They feel like being depressed, and they go around all depressed. But friends, we cannot just act on these emotional impulses and expect to have any kind of victory in our lives. Feelings will lead us astray. Feelings can get us into trouble. And throughout life, you're going to have plenty of opportunities to lose your temper and say things you regret. You're going to get up some mornings and feel like being depressed, feel like going around in a bad mood. At times you'll get caught in traffic and feel like being impatient, feel like getting upset. See, the feelings are always going to be there, but we've got to learn how to follow wisdom and do what we know is right and not just follow our feelings around. But I read where there are two kinds of pain in life. One is the pain of discipline, the other is the pain of regret. The pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. And if we live a lazy, undisciplined life, and we just give in to our feelings, and we act on these emotional impulses, we're going to make very poor choices that we regret later on. We would be much better off to just discipline ourselves right now so that later on we don't have to carry that heavy load of regret. Friends, the pain of discipline is minuscule compared to the pain of regret.
Be proactive basically means that your life is a product of your values, not your feelings. That your life, or the organization's life, is a product of your decisions, not your conditions. The opposite of being proactive is to be reactive, which basically means that your life is a function of your feelings, your moods, your impulses, other people's treatment. You and I have the capacity to choose our response.
You see, if you don't have a vision of where you go, and if you don't have a goal where you go, you drift around and you never end up anywhere. It's like you can have the best ship in the world, you can have the best airplane in the world. If the pilot or the captain doesn't know where to go, it would just drift around. It would not end up anywhere, or most likely in the wrong place.
Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. Remember, just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Don't confuse movement with progress.
So people always ask me, when they saw me in the gym in the pumping iron days, they say, why is it that you're working out so hard? 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, and you have always a smile on your face. The others are working out just as hard as you do, and they look sour in the face. Why is that? And I told people all the time, I said, because to me, I'm shooting for a goal. In front of me is the Mr. Universe title. So every rep that I do gets me closer to accomplishing that goal, to make this goal, this vision turn into reality. Every single set that I do, every repetition, every weight that I lift will get me a step closer to turn this goal into reality. I mean, think about it. And I was just not visualizing just my exercise, but I was really lifting the trophy over my head. That's what I was thinking about. And with the age of 20, I went to London and I won the Mr. Universe contest as the youngest Mr. Universe ever. And it was because I had a goal. So let me tell you something, visualizing your goal and going after it makes it fun. You got to have a purpose no matter what you do in life. You got to have a purpose. Have a vision.
We have to realize that growth is not automatic. There are many successful people, but they haven't reached half of their potential because they stopped growing. There's something called destination disease. That is, when we reach a certain goal, when we get our degree, when we get a certain position, when we get the house paid off, we just kick back and put our mind in neutral and we coast off of what we've already learned. We may make a little progress here and there, but we're really not learning anything new. We're really not growing. We're not becoming better in our careers, better in our personal life. And one of the reasons is the way we were trained. As a little child, we grow automatically. We get bigger, we develop physically, mentally. We have parents, teachers, coaches that challenge us to grow. Early on, growth is automatic. It's just a part of our life. But the problem is, at one point, when we stop growing physically, when we get out of school, that growth is no longer automatic. If we're going to continue to grow, we have to take responsibility for our own growth. We have to have the attitude, how can I improve? What can I do to make me better? We have to stir up that desire to learn. We should have a goal to grow in some way every day. A goal to learn something new every single day. But we're never supposed to stop learning. Today there are so many opportunities to grow. With modern technology, it's easy to increase and expand our thinking. Don't get stuck in a rut. You shouldn't be at the same place next year in your career, in your finances, in your relationships as you are right now. You should know more. If you work in the field of sales, you need to read books on how to communicate more effectively. People have gone where you're trying to go. Listen to what they have to say. Take courses, go to seminars. There's potential in you that has to be drawn out.
And it drives me crazy when people say they don't have enough time to go to the gym for 45 minutes a day and work out. Or to do something for 45 minutes to an hour a day to improve. If it is physically improve or if it is mentally to improve. Imagine you read 1 hour a day about history. How much you will learn after 365 hours in 1 year. Think about if you study about the history of musicians, of composers, how much you would know. Imagine if you would work on a business, on some business that you want to develop every day for an hour. Imagine how further along you will go and get.
I read where if a person will spend an hour a day on a certain subject, after 3 years, that person will be an expert on that subject. You need to find the area of your greatest gifting, what you're good at naturally, and spend time increasing in that area. If you'll stay focused and learn a little more each day, a little more each year, before long, you'll be one of the experts. You'll be a leader in your field. You need to develop your gifts to the point where your company cannot make it without you. Or at least if you're not there, things don't run nearly as smooth. Because if you're out for a week and nobody misses you and sales are just as good and all the work gets done, I need to sound the alarm right now. You got to wake up and smell the coffee. If they don't miss you, they may figure you're not necessary. You need to kick it into a new gear. Produce more than you've been producing. Take courses to improve your skills. You got to step it up a notch. Well, Joel, I have kind of a low-level position. If I'm gone, nobody would ever miss me. Well, maybe so, but make up your mind that is not where you're going to stay. Don't build a house where you should have a tent. That is not a permanent address. You're not supposed to live there forever. You're just passing through. Keep growing. Keep learning.